How are you?
I am well, sister. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Can't complain.
That's good. Good to hear. I always start off with a big thank you. I appreciate you making time and chatting with me here on Hello Fitness TV.
No,
I
thank
understand that
you.
you're a very busy lady, so I'm so grateful for your time.
No, thank you for allowing me to come and talk to you.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So I will say this: we've been chatting with folks, Teenear, from all different types of backgrounds, industries, but you are officially, I should say, perhaps the second, because I did speak to a former recording artist. But I was just telling folks before you jumped on is that I personally get excited to talk to younger folk. And again, not that I feel like I'm super old, but I'm older.
What?
And girl, yes. So it's always
No.
nice to hear from you guys, especially how you guys navigate current times. And then also because I just get really inspired about those that are pursuing their goals and dreams. And I know you're one of them. So let's start from the jump. We start these conversations with two things. Two things. One, I'm gonna ask you, and so seamlessly so, what you, Teenear, are truly grateful for. And I say that because truly is presented by, and we're having this conversation in courtesy of them. But what's really important for me, outside of being like a heavy fitness influencer, is to speak about like other things that pertain to emotional, spiritual, and even mental health. And so I find it's a really important conversation to ask, what are you truly grateful for during these times?
Um, I would say I'm really grateful to have like a God-fearing family. We're really like, we really all try to dive into our relationship with God and we talk to each other about it. And I feel like not everyone has that where they have their family to also be their accountability partners when it comes to certain things in life and like guide them in the right direction and like how to do things. And I really appreciate that.
Oh, that's love. That's beautiful. Beautifully put, too. And then, with that said, and perhaps this will tie into my next question, you are a young woman of color pursuing her goals and dreams in the music industry. You are a signed recording artist. You are obviously inspiration. You're also an influencer on social media. Outside of all these titles, of essentially the things that we do in life, I also ask people to define themselves of who they are outside of these titles. And sometimes that can be a difficult question. So I'm going to give you an example. You know, some people like you're a fitness trainer, you're this, you're like all these things. But before I am all these labels about what I do in the world, I am a lover, I am a daughter, I am a stepmom, I am all these other things that make up who I am outside of what I do. So my next question to you, outside of all these wonderful labels that you carry and what you pursue in your life, who is Teenear?
That is a very difficult question, but
Yeah.
I feel like Teenear is a God-fearing woman. She is a daughter. She is a sister. She really values family, and she is really sweet. Like I don't know, I feel like I'm a really sweet person. I do care for people a lot, and I take in consideration like just people in general, and yeah, that's all I can think of right
Yeah,
now.
no, it is. It sounds like you're also a lover. Perhaps you're even an empath where you feel for other people.
I do.
I think it's a very beautiful trait to have when you're compassionate about others, which I think a lot of the world kind of lack these days because we live in a very much, I think, especially in these times, this idea of like constant survival. And in that kind of state of being, we do have a sense of like almost being selfish in the sense that we got to protect ours, we got to protect, and so when you say that when you care about others, it speaks a lot to who you are and your character as a woman.
Yeah.
So I appreciate those types of things, of course. So you answer that just perfectly.
Thank you. But it's true.
Okay, so let's get into the music industry. You're a young person, and I say that with all respect, only because I just turned 37. And
oh my God, you look good. I just gotta say that you look amazing. I wouldn't have even thought that at all. I'm not even kidding.
Thank you. I truly appreciate it. But I do sometimes feel really removed from, say, pop culture or what's cool, what's going on. And I'm always that person who will hear a song on the radio and be like, oh, this is my jam. I like this. And they're like, girl, that came out last summer. I'm like, oh. So for somebody that I say is on the other side of that, you know, for me, it's always great to connect with younger people. I know you're a grown woman, but younger people, and just get their perspective on things. Now, you're a sound recording artist. What does a day in the life of Teenear look like?
Well, in quarantine,
Right.
in quarantine, I've been getting up, working out, and I'm usually on the phone all the time with my team. They've been keeping me busy. We've been focused on so many different things. I really appreciate them so much. But I'm either always in my phone or always in my computer doing something work related right now, and just trying to think of different ways to just stay creative and
Yeah.
still put myself out there during this time.
Yeah, perfect. Does that also mean when you speak of being creative, do you also write?
Yes, I do write. And recently I've been thinking of not only just the music aspect of things, but like the visual part of things as well. Because I have like a lot of music that I want to come out very soon. And we have to come up with different ideas for how we want these videos to be. And I've been like watching different types of shows. Like I just started watching anime. I have never watched anime before, but I wanted to just like pull from that because I feel like there's so many different things out here that we don't necessarily see every day, or you may have never been introduced to. And I want to take this time to just like find different things that can just like spark different creative stuff in me, you know?
For sure. So does that? I mean, it sounds like you're also taking on like almost like an EP role where you're really having a say in the creativity of how you show up and present it to the world, as well as your music videos. Is that correct?
Yes. And
I can.
honestly, I've been so grateful in the last few months. I've really been able to do that because before quarantine, there's so much going on. You don't always have time to like sit there and think about every single thing, but now I do. And I'm able to talk to my team about it and really discuss what I want to do. And I'm happy about that.
Wonderful. So, okay, so this might sound cliche. My understanding is in learning about the past and say artists that have come before you, I've heard that a lot of creativity or even your own personal image is actually typically, I should just say, made up by the team. It sounds like you very much have your hands on and very vocal about how you do show up. I assume that's very important to you.
It is extremely important to me. And like my team knows it for sure. Cause like you say, it's usually like the label or whatever, they try to like set you on a certain path. But I'm very vocal about everything. And sometimes they're like annoyed with me, but I want to stand on what I want to stand on, you know, and they work with me and we honestly love each other. It's like a huge family there. And it's been a good time. We work together for sure all the time.
I love that. So, as an artist, how do you describe yourself, your style, and the types of music that you want to create and put out there in the world?
I guess I just want to create music that's relatable and music that grows with me. I want you to be able to hear my growth throughout everything that I put out. Like my first single, Friday Night, is a completely different person than Come See Me and even Free that I just put out. And I feel like I want everything to represent what I'm going through in that certain time of my life. I'm not trying to grow too fast. I'm not trying to stay too young. I just want to be who I am, and I want people to see that, whoever I am in this moment. I want people to see that.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So then in this moment, especially with Free, because I've been listening to that and I think it's a beautiful song. What are you then trying to portray, or how do you want people to see you through that song specifically?
For that song, it mainly just represents me getting into who I am truly and wanting to express who I am truly and just being free and not holding back myself or letting anything hold me back. And I feel like for me, that song is super personal and super just like special to me because I know that it represented an important part for me that I had to break through and just like see myself, you know?
Right, for sure. You speak a lot about, I think, what comes across as vulnerability. and like really being open to not hiding like any aspect of who you are and bringing that out in your art form, which I think is really beautiful. And I know it has been tough for a lot of people to do, not just obviously in music, but just in general. So it is a beautiful way to express yourself through your art, and I can appreciate that. I look forward to hearing so much more about your music also.
Thank you.
While we're speaking about your music, where can people find this? Where can we hear you? Are you streaming on all platforms? Let us know.
Yes, you can find my music on every streaming platform, and I'm on every social media platform. I'm there.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. So moving from that, Teenear, as admittedly, I come from a health and fitness background. And part of what I realize in my own existence and how I want to show up in the world, I recognize that there's only so much I can tell women to do, to squat properly or to fix a form, build a body. But more importantly, it's really important for me to speak about all different types of aspects of health. And as mentioned earlier in the conversation, that pertains to spiritual health, mental health, emotional health, and all these different types of things that make us healthy. It's not just what we see in the mirror. It's really all encompassing to how I'm defining health. As a young woman pursuing her goals and dreams, I know, especially in times of a quarantine where we're really outside of our norm, how do you, one, define what mental health and spiritual health is to you? And two, how do you feel like you're going about maintaining a very healthy mental and spiritual life?
I feel like mental health and spiritual health is really just how you feel. It's how you feel, honestly feel. Because a lot of the times we try to like fake how we feel, but it's how you really feel when you're sitting in your room, in your bed, by yourself, you know? And for me, I feel like right now, during quarantine, for sure, at the beginning, I was like kind of going a little crazy, staying in my room by myself. And I kind of just had to sit back and realize, like, wait, there's some things you got to figure out about yourself so you don't feel like this in this moment. And I feel like I've just been focusing on little things that bother me, or just things that I felt like I can work on more. I've been getting closer to, like I said, I spoke on being God-fearing in my family. I know that there was a moment for me where I wasn't as close, or like my relationship wasn't as strong with God as it is now, because I just like, I went through a lot of things where like I've always grown up in the church and I've had a huge spiritual relationship with God. And I went through a point where I was like super, super strong. Like he's my best friend. And then I broke away from that. And I realized that at the beginning of this quarantine, I'm like, hold up, you got to backtrack, get back to where you used to be. Because I feel like for me, that's always been really important, because he's my number one. He is my rock. And for me, it starts there. Once I know I'm good, in a good place with God, I can build myself, because at the end of the day, I can't build anything in this entire world without him. So it starts there with me.
That's perfect. And then with that said, then do you turn to being creative, perhaps writing music, to then sustain that relationship? Well, I guess sustain that relationship that you have with God, or keep your mental health in check? Other things like spending time with your family, maybe being outside of your room. Are there things that you're actively doing in your everyday to kind of maintain like a nice level, balanced, healthy well-being?
Yeah, I've always been like a person to work out with my mom, like every day. She is my workout buddy all day long. She's my accountability partner. She'll hit me up like, Teenear, did you work out today? Why haven't you worked out today?
All right, mama.
She's amazing. And outside of that, of us working out together, I've been trying to just stay healthy myself and like make different healthy eating habits, like changing my eating habits, making my own food. I started juicing. That was really fun. And just doing things where it's just like, I don't know, before like you would go to a store, buy juices, go buy healthy stuff. Like now I've been actively like trying to make stuff myself. I've always loved cooking and baking, but I never changed my routine of how I did that. But now I'm kind of like just changing things and trying new things.
I love that. I love that. And like, kudos to moms.
I know.
Yeah, right? That's awesome. So in transitioning from there, I like to also speak about insecurities and how we defeat them. I literally cannot even imagine navigating my 20s in this era where one, as a people, as humanity, we just share a lot on social media. And then two, having to deal with those that like to be vocal about opinions and sharing their opinions when they're sometimes not even welcome. Securities play a big part, I notice, in young people, especially those that I've had the pleasure of mentoring in the past. Can you speak on perhaps, and if you feel vulnerable enough, of course, to speak on something that you felt vulnerable about or an insecurity that you might have had that you then found ways to, jump the hurdle and conquer?
One thing I've always been really insecure about, and I'm still in a place where like I'm constantly trying to better myself, has been my weight. Like ever since I was young, I was always like a chubby girl. And
we like to say thick. We like thick though.
Okay, thick. And I know that was something that always bothered me when I was young. I went to like a fitness camp and I learned how to cook. And that was when I started working out, and then I got into sports. And even to this day, like I am constantly trying to just make sure I'm trying to like look my best, or what I think my best is. Because like you said, I have to be on social media. I have to be on camera. This is a part of my job. So it's something that's always in my mind. And I try to not, like before I used to think about what other people thought all the time. But I feel like right now, in the last like 2 years, I've been really just trying to figure out what I feel like is my perfect way, my perfect body in my head. And I've just been working on myself. Like I said, my mom is my workout partner. She's always there for me. And she's the one that I go to when I'm ever like, oh my gosh, Mom, help me with this. I need to do this. I can't wear this. And she's my best friend. She helps me a lot with that.
Yeah, you sound very blessed in that department to have somebody, obviously, as your mother and someone so close that not only can hold you accountable, but that makes you feel as beautiful as you are, basically.
Exactly.
And I know for some that they don't always have that accountability. So it sounds like you're definitely winning that department.
Yes, I love her. She's amazing.
Perfect. For those, perhaps maybe in speaking to those that are in your age bracket or women in general, is there a bit of advice maybe that you could say, or a suggestion that you have for somebody that has been going through a hard time regarding perhaps body image?
I would say for me, it was really just like I said, finding what you think is beautiful in yourself. Like we're not all meant to look the same. Eventually it's going to get boring if everyone is looking the same, you know what I mean? And I feel like it's just good to be different. We have to understand that difference makes us different. Like you don't want everyone to look at you and be like, oh, she looks just like the other girl. That's something that I had to put into my head. Like not everyone has to look like that certain body image, and you just got to understand you're blessed with this thing. And you got to just work on who you are. And that's just it.
Perfectly said. I think also, although sometimes social media can be something that works against us as far as putting ourselves out there and then receiving backlash for whatever reason, I also think it's a really beautiful tool because there are women that have the bravery and the courage to show up in the world in whatever size and tone, in creed and all, and just are unapologetically themselves, and in its essence just is really beautiful to see. And I love the fact that there are women, say what they're referring to as plus size women, that are showing up and really are just really comfortable in their own skin. And as someone that isn't plus size but also struggled with weight, or this not so much weight but body image or how it's perceived, I am also really inspired by seeing other women just be really unapologetically themselves and say, yeah, I have cellulite. I don't care. And what?
Yeah.
Or whatever it may be. And I think when you speak of that and what you said just there, it's really important to understand that when you show up and you own everything about yourself, and also adopting this idea, like I'm always going to try to be a better version of myself, but I love myself for who I am right now in the present. That in turn changes everything, not only for yourself, for other people that see you, especially other women, especially younger women, that say,
Yeah.
I don't have to be a size 0 to be beautiful.
Right.
So I applaud you in that, especially being so young and aware of that. Just mentally is a really big thing on your part. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Oh, I definitely know what it feels like, because like I said, when I was younger, it was always something that was on my mind. And being a part, like you have to be on social media all the time. And in my job, my career, my image is a lot. And I just had to understand, I have to love myself and understand that this is just what I've been blessed with, and I gotta do the most and the best that I can with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a strong message, because and even when you say what makes us different is essentially is the beautiful part. I think if we all look the same, what kind of world would we live in?
Exactly.
And I'll just say this, I don't shame people that have had surgery or certain operations. It's just not my thing to shame anybody for that reason.
Yeah.
But like, if we all went out and decided to get that body, what would make us beautiful and unique or stand out? So especially if you're a young person or anybody that listens to this at a later time, what makes you you is what makes you beautiful. And so I would encourage everybody to really embrace who they are inside and out, especially in times like this where we're so easily influenced by social media. So I applaud you again, Teenear. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you.
So, okay, music. I'm not going to keep too much of your time. I know you're a busy lady, but I wanted to speak on music one last time. So for those that do listen to this, and I also like share this video also on different platforms. As a music artist, as you know, you define yourself living in the pop R&B genre. Is that correct? Yes. Right? And we can find your music on all streams, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, like everything.
Everything.
And we can find you under your name, first name Teenear, right? So everybody can hear that. Perfect. And then on social media, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on every social media platform: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, at Teenear R.
There we go. There's all of them right there. Now, Teenear, before I let you go, I always finish off with what we call rapid questions. And this is just a bunch of questions thrown at you, where I'm looking just for your immediate first come to mind response. Okay. Just so those that are listening can perhaps maybe learn you from like a little different aspect, right? Okay. Do you mind if you play that with me?
Yeah, I'm excited and nervous.
As I sip my drink. All right. So the first one I think is pretty obvious. Well, maybe not. Maybe I'm going to answer it anyways. First question: your favorite genre of music?
R&B right now. R&B.
R&B right now. I like that. Yeah. So maybe I might grow into something else. Smart. Yeah. Any hidden talents that say we wouldn't so easily know about?
I like decorating like cakes and cookies and stuff. Like, I'm an amazing cookie decorator.
Okay, not a baker, just a decorator?
I do like baking, but I was like, is that a talent? Yeah, I guess it is a talent.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love baking. Baking is so much fun to me.
Yeah. So if anyone's out there needing somebody to decorate their cookies or cakes, you need to hit up Teenear for some advice. Okay, question for you. Alone time or time together? Alone time. Okay.
I do like being by myself sometimes.
Sometimes? Okay, that's understandable. I'm the same way. I love alone time, but I also recognize when I need to be around people that I love and that love me. Yeah, perfect. I like that. Land or sea?
Land. I like the sea, but I don't know. I'm the type of person, like, I love paddleboarding, but if I fall, oh my God, I'm freaking out.
Oh yeah. Okay. Especially if you're in the ocean.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Or on the jet skis, I'm freaking out if I'm in the water with nothing under me.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely the same person. I agree with that one. Okay, moving on. How about this one? One person that you would love to have an in-depth conversation with.
Dead or alive or alive?
Dead or alive.
Michael Jackson. I just want to talk. We don't have to sing. I just want to talk. Yeah. Just figure out what is going on through your mind. Get some advice.
As a creative and a musician, has he been somebody that's highly influenced you?
Yes, for sure. Like, just seeing his whole story from starting at such a young age and then growing into who he is, who he is amazing.
Yeah. I love that we speak of him like he's still very much present. Like, I mean, he left a legacy, and that's going to go on generations after us. But
that's what I want to do. That is my goal at the end of the day. So I definitely am so inspired by him.
Perfect. I like that one. How about this? A TV series that you've currently binged or currently binging?
7 Deadly Sins. I just started watching anime, so I've been watching that like crazy.
All right, I know somebody else that's watching that too. I personally have not gone into it, but if you're saying it's worth a watch, maybe I'll put it on my list.
You can put it on your list. I've been watching it for the last few days.
And you like it?
I do like it. It's been interesting. It's different.
Okay. I might consider it, Teenear. I might consider it. Bath or shower?
Shower.
Nice and quick.
Shower. Yeah, I do like baths, but I'm always the person to take a shower first. I'm never sitting in the tub without a shower. Shower is my number one.
Fair enough. If you had to Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook?
What was the question?
I was like, if you had to choose, what is your favorite? Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook?
Instagram.
Yeah. You stick with Instagram. That's pretty much all I do too. As soon as someone says something else, I'm like, I'm out. I'm out of the game. Right. Okay, here's one thing I'm gonna enjoy asking. Name one thing that you love about your body.
And I love about my body, my smile. I love my smile.
Perfect. And now name one thing you love about your personality.
That I try to be really happy. I try to bring people's spirits up. Laugh a little bit. No, laugh a lot. I laugh a lot.
Good. Happy. You're happy by nature. I love that. Okay, a couple more, and I promise I'll let you go. How about this one? If the house was burning down, name one thing you would grab.
My Bible. I just started a Bible that is like you read it every day because I'm trying to read the whole thing for the first time ever. So my Bible.
I love that. You're clearly a very deeply spiritual and faithful woman that I can applaud. That's awesome. Awesome. Okay, and then I have two more questions because I want to know both of them. What would you tell your 16-year-old self?
Oh gosh. I would tell her to calm down because I feel like I'm constantly I'm the type of person that overanalyze a lot. And as days go on or things pass, I'm like, you didn't have to do that. It was going to be fine, So I just tell her to relax and just do what she knows she can do and just do it, Oh,
I love that. Do what she can do. Yeah, perfect. And the last and final question, lady. Name one thing on your bucket list that you haven't yet accomplished.
Accomplished just in life or career-wise?
Oh, it could be either or. Totally, it could be something in life, or if there's something that comes to mind that's career-driven, I want to know about it.
Well, in life, I want to bungee jump, off of a bridge. I want to do that so bad. That is on my bucket list.
Okay, that's perfect. That's all you.
You wouldn't want to do that?
Listen, I grew up in Australia, and bungee jumping actually was first invented in New Zealand, which I have a lot of family. So that was a thing. Growing up, people were like, yeah, we're going to go bungee jumping. We're going to New Zealand. And I was like, very cool. I'd rather jump out of a plane. The idea of being
I want to do that
connected to something. Yeah, girl. But, I applaud that. That means you're adventurous and brave.
I like things like that. So that's going to happen eventually. One of these days.
Putting it out there in the universe.
Yes.
And then career-wise?
Career-wise, I want a song with Beyonce. That's going to happen. Putting that out there.
Put that out there. Oh, yeah. That's totally accomplishable, I say.
Yes, I think so, too.
Yeah, when I saw when Megan Thee Stallion had a collaboration with her. I said
you won. You won it all. You could just sit down.
And then just hearing about her story too and how she came up in the industry, it's anything is doable.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
It's amazing.
I applaud that because that's something high to reach, but I think it's able to be accomplished. And I'm gonna remember this conversation Because if you are that person one day, I'm gonna go, oh my gosh, I remember when Teenear actually made time to chat with me online on social media. Look at, I would be the first to be applauding you.
Thank you.
Sis, thank you so much for making time. I'm truly grateful. It's funny that I say that, and this delicious drink that I've been sipping on is who's presenting this chat.
I've not tried that. Gotta
Have you not tried it?
No.
Yeah, it's great because it's like for somebody that's watching, I shouldn't say watching calories, so to speak, because I pretty much eat what I want. But I'm trying to, obviously lead a healthy lifestyle, but have a nice little drink every now and again. Mm-hmm. It's a really good choice. Really refreshing, and the flavors are very extensive. There's so many flavors, and it tastes good. It actually smells delicious. I can actually smell it from the can. That's how potent it is. It's really good. But so yeah, I would suggest you check that out.
I am.
But just grateful, lady. Just grateful that you've made time for me. I wish you nothing but love and success in your career. As a fellow woman of color, I am already rooting for you before I know you personally. And I do wish that you hit every single goal, and that I look forward to seeing that and hearing that collaboration with Miss B.
Yes, it's gonna happen. And thank you so much, honestly, for having me. Your time is just as important, and I appreciate you wanting to take this time with me.
Of course, honey. Thank you so much. You enjoy your weekend ahead, and I wish that your family stay healthy and happy and strong. Tell Mama I said what's up. I'm proud of her too.
I will. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Till next time.